Alright everyone, welcome to day number, I don't know, I lost track, right? Who cares? Day number whatever of this quarantine slash shelter in place slash lockdown slash government controlled experiment. I'm not joking. Slash in-home prison with a better view. I don't know what you want to call it, but I'm kind of tired of it. I'm sick of it, and there's going to be some people that are going to probably label me as insensitive, and that's fine, but try to have an open mind. And also, I do recommend you please watch the previous video I did regarding the open letter from Dr. Sukaret Bhakti. He is a medical microbiologist, infectious disease epidemiologist, a very well-respected man, and he gives his 2 cents on how these drastic measures are should not be taken. So I might talk about that very briefly in that, but I don't want to be repetitive from the other videos. So anyways, I was just checking in with you guys and gals first and foremost. Overall, I've been a little bummed out, I'll be honest. I like routine to a point, but I will admit that there are times when I'm getting a little bit frustrated and a little bit depressed, because I'm a type of person that if things don't really make sense, it needs to make sense. And that's why I did my previous video and I got that off my chest. I need to, when there's a certain amount of information, when someone tells me to do something and I don't want to do it, or let's say any type of law that someone passes, it needs to make sense for me, for my peace of mind. And even if it requires me to be a little bit more stressed out, it requires me to take more time out of my day. Some people might say it's not worth it, but for me it is. And if it helps me, or if it helps me for my own sanity and it helps you guys and gals, and I think it's worth it. I'm not sure what the overall end game is for this lockdown now. You can call me a conspiracy theorist, you can call me whatever you want. I don't believe in that, but I do believe that if you're 100%, okay, I have a question for you guys and gals. From a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being you trust the government, like unequivocally, like whoever like your best friend is or someone that you really trust, use that as a comparison. A 10 being I trust them with my life. I trust them. They're genuine. They really care about me. They have your back. That's a 10. And then there's a 1, mortal enemy. Where do you fall on that spectrum right now? Post it in the comment section before I give you my response, so I don't want to give you confirmation bias. For me, I don't know, 5 or 6, maybe lower, maybe higher, depending on the day. The way they're handling this crisis, like I said, watch the previous video, could be like a 5 or a 4. I truly believe that, I forgot who said it, never let a good crisis go to waste. And like I said in previous videos, the media is making a killing off this. Politicians and even other doctors, with the exception of a few out there, they're always going to give the absolutes. Dr. Fauci and all the bricks, whatever, they're going to give you the worst case scenario. So just in case that, if the worst case scenario does happen, then they'll be like, okay, I told you so. It's kind of like, when, if you ever got if you had a house project and you had a contractor come over, right? They come and they work on your house. They're about to work on your house and give you an estimate. What do they always do? To cover themselves, to make themselves look good, they will overestimate the time that it will take to finish the kitchen, to finish the tile. We just did a backyard reno months ago. So they will say 8 weeks at the most, but maybe earlier. And then if it finishes in 6 weeks, it looks like you finished earlier. Even though the contractor knows it's probably 99% sure they're gonna finish before 8 weeks, they're gonna say 8 weeks, because if they say 6 weeks and then it goes 6 weeks, 6.5 weeks, then you're gonna get people complaining. This is a similar parallel in how I use that as an example with these politicians. A politician and a public figure, a person in the public eye, is never going to say what they truly mean. They're never going to. They want a headline. They're never going to say, even if they mean it. They're never going to say, well, quote, well, if you're not really high risk, probably you're going to be okay. So don't worry about the mask and the hand washing too much. I mean, yeah, you want to have basic hygiene, but don't worry too much, because based on statistics, you're not at high risk, so it's okay. They don't want to say that. Why? Because there are outliers, and with outliers, and the media will always talk about it. They already did last time with a young kid dying. Whenever there's a few outliers that happen, they're worried about backlash, because there's always a small percentage of person that there's an outlier that isn't in the high risk category, that had some complications and unfortunately died. It's unfortunate, but it does happen. So they're going to do everything to cover themselves. So they're going to give you the worst case scenario. By doing that, they keep themselves covered legally, and they don't look like an ass. And also, the media loves it, because drama, right? You want the drama. I don't have the statistics, we don't know yet, but I do believe that the suicide rates are gonna definitely go up. Not getting too much into the details, but I do suffer from, and it is diagnosed, some OCD, anxiety. This has been diagnosed, and some other things. Depression, I haven't been officially diagnosed. I'm not sure. Maybe it comes and goes. But I do have bouts of those episodes, so I'm not just talking out of my ass. I'm not just reading from a book. This thing has been effing with my head a little bit, and I can only imagine people that already are severely depressed, how this is affecting them, because the administration, Dr. Fauci and all of them, they're telling you things, but it's kind of contradicting, right? What do you tell a person that is usually depressed? What do you think they should do? I'm not talking about the corona, just in general. Try to get some rest, right? Don't stay in bed too long. Do something productive. Get some fresh air. Socialize. We're not socializing. They don't allow it anymore. Social distancing. They call it social distancing. I call it social manipulation or whatever. They don't want you to socialize. So you get a depressed person who's already depressed. You don't want them to be closer than 6 feet to someone. Can't visit your grandparents. Instilling all this fear and more anxiety into you. You go to the news and it's just more negative. They say go outside, but not in big groups. Next thing you know, they could implement martial law, the military. And it's happened already in the past. It's happened, it's been posted. You're walking down the street and then cops gonna pull you over, military. What are you doing? That's gonna exacerbate your stress problems. Yes, you can exercise. I'm looking to have a home gym. As far as going outside, you can't do it in big groups anymore. So that's thrown out this damn window. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but things are fishy. Like I said in the previous videos, the number of deaths, just look it up on Google. Just look it up. And not just Google. Google's not always correct, I understand, but there's more there's a lot of accurate, confirmed information out there from the CDC, from other places. The suicides, the accidental deaths, the cancer. I talked about this, the cancer, all that. Why hunger, TB? Why right now? We have all these other people dying left and right. Why is it right now that they're tackling and bringing to the forefront the COVID-19? In my opinion, ask yourself that. The whole question of how much do you trust them? There's always got to be some incentive. And to me, the incentive is the vaccine. They're going to be rolling out the vaccine, and these head honchos, they have stock options with the pharmaceutical companies that produce the vaccine. You understand that? What does that mean, stock options? That means money lots and lots of money, more money than you and I will ever make in a lifetime. That's their motivation. The vaccine. They give you the flu shot, right? I have to take it because I'm a healthcare worker. But there's so many different strands. Every time I got the flu shot, I got the flu. It's a bunch of BS, man. It straight up is. For the high risk people, get the flu shot. Young risk, you shouldn't be forced to someone to put something in your arm. That's what they're doing. And the other scary thing is, they want to make it a one-step process. I had heard, I'm not sure yet, where you get the vaccine now and they put a chip, a microchip, and somehow they can track you. So they can track you with the drone. They can track you with a chip in your body. You know what? And another thing, they do this at some places, in some facilities at my hospital. I speak from firsthand experience. I know a person that works at this place. They register the patient and then they track you. They put a tracker on you, similar. I don't know if it's the exact same type of microchip. I gotta ask her, but she says they do it right now. I'm like, what do you mean? Oh, it helps track the patient exactly where they are. So right when you get registered, they know exactly where you're going. So if you go and you get a misstep, they're watching you like a hawk, right? Big Brother's watching you. You decide to take a piss or something, go out for a smoke break, they're gonna be the first ones to be like, hey, how come you were smoking? Where's your individual rights? Your individual rights and your human rights are getting stripped. This is what the forefathers of America tried to prevent, and that's why they wrote the Constitution. Tyrannical government, and people that are anti-gun. You don't want them taking away our guns because that's the only thing you have. And no, I don't even own a gun. But you give the guns to, if you don't give the guns to us, you give it to the criminals, and you're giving it to the police. The militarization of police is already happening. They got tanks. They have this. They have that. I'm not going off my rocker. This is 100% true. So if you're okay with that, some people are okay with just agreeing. But slowly but surely, they're stripping away rights. Will this happen in our lifetime? It's already happening, but will it happen more drastically? Yes, it will. I do it because it's just the way I am, and I do have a daughter, and I want to make sure that she's educated and she's up to date and has woken, at least. Took the red pill as opposed to the blue pill. I don't know where I'm going with this video. Yeah, maybe I'm sounding a little high strung. How do you guys and gals feel? I just want for you guys and gals, whether you agree with me or not, to just kind of open your mind a little bit. Like I said, how much do you trust the government? If heart disease is the #1 killer, how come you don't hear a peep? Oh, well, eating fast food is not contagious. Well, yeah, in a medical sense, yeah, you can't cough up a Big Mac and then it lands on your face and then you get a Big Mac disease. No, of course not. That's ludicrous. But it does create a social epidemic. You see things on YouTube, right? Like eating contests, this and that. That's become the norm now. People do it on YouTube. I do watch those videos from time to time for senseless entertainment. Matt Stoney, Joey Chestnut. I have no hate on them. You got to make their money. But food challenges, all this mashups, right? They add all these patties and stuff. That's becoming our culture. If the government really cared about that, they would be endorsing that. But no, there's nothing in it for them as far as I'm concerned. There's no vaccine. If there's a way for them to make money, they will do it. And they did the same thing with the AIDS epidemic in the 80s. I was a little bit too young. I was born in 1980. And they also did it in after 9/11. So now, you go to the airport, they do the x-ray scanner and or the frisk. You get to choose one. And for me, randomly, they pulled me over. I did the x-ray and they still frisked me. There's videos of 9-year-old girls in the airport getting frisked. She was wearing like shorts and a shirt. And the TSA guy was, just overly doing it. Do you want Big Brother government doing that to? I don't want them doing it to my daughter. The guy was like grabbing my freaking dick at the airport after I just got scanned and I have a clean record. Oh, well, we got to make sure after 9/11. Yes, of course I agree, but you can't live your whole life in fear. You can't live your whole life in fear. All the people with the mask and stuff not even wearing it correctly, they're not even wearing it correctly, you have a better chance of dying of heart disease or cancer and or in this damn car, like I said. But I don't blame all of them. Is that freaking media, you know? The mainstream media. 15 minutes in, you know, and that's it. So, oh, and the last thing I'm going to say, this is decimating the U.S. economy. I know people that have personally lost their jobs. That $1,000 rebate check ain't going to be enough. People are going to need to get therapy probably. That's probably not going to be paid for by the insurance. It's a real sad predicament that they decided to use this as a way to get what they want. Government control and more money. And like I said, I didn't go into details because you got to watch the other video. But basically, in a quick nutshell, it's not even quick anymore. Real quick, if you didn't want to watch that other video, anyone that has traces of COVID virus in them and they die, they immediately chalk it up as a COVID-19 death. But the medical principle is just because you have to prove unequivocally that the virus itself caused the death, not that that the person died and then they so happened to have the presence of the virus, because there's a lot of different factors. A lot of them die of pneumonia in addition to. I said that in the previous video. You get the drug addict, they die of heroin overdose, so it's got to be the heroin. It's got to be the heroin. But you don't know what else. Based on toxicology, which takes about 3 weeks, you won't know definitively what the cause of death was until you get more intricate with the report and find out, oh, this person that died of the overdose, they had a heart problem, they had a pre-existing heart, blah blah blah. They also had cocaine in the system, they had alcohol, they mixed it, they took some oxys, and then they died. Oh, but it was just a heroin. Same thing with the COVID. They just, it could have been pneumonia based, it could be something else based. They could have already been close to dying already, and them contacting a regular flu would have done the same thing. But no, you got to make it about COVID. Right? You give 100% of the credit to the COVID, and that's BS. But that's in the previous video. The medical guy talks about that. So that's my time. I feel like I'm just gonna have to work out or something. I truly, you know, I'm making these long videos, and maybe you guys just watch it in segments, and maybe I'll just put a little disclaimer. But I'm very passionate about this. You don't have to believe everything I say, but you know, however, I'm only 4 years on this planet, and if I can even reach out to a few people, I just want you guys to. What I want you to get out of this video is take even 1 or 2 things I said from this video and have an open discussion with someone else that's completely scared. Maybe it'll help ease them. Maybe it won't, but if you believe in it, and just pose that question, and you ask questions yourself. They have to have an end game. They have to have motive. Right? There's money involved, and they don't give 2 shits about us. Do you want to live in a society where the moment you step outside as a military person outside on the streets? I'm not exaggerating. This is the small steps that it's going to take. And it's already happening. People are getting ticketed for not wearing masks. And then people say, well, I don't have a mask. There's a shortage. And they go, I don't care. Here's your ticket. That's draconian, man. That's unconstitutional. Don't give away your rights that easily. Do not do that. That's the last thing you want. The forefathers did not want this. We did all the years of history of America. Dude, we fought for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Correct? Freedom. Don't take it for granted, because they're slowly taking it away because they want to control us. Just remember that, guys. All right, bye.